Hello and welcome to today's episode. Today we're going to talk about synchronicities and how they relate to the idea that there are no coincidences in life. Many people believe that everything in life is synchronized and that what we think about is drawn to us, including people, events, and occurrences. So let's dive in. Synchronicities are meaningful coincidences that seem to defy explanation. They occur when two or more events happen in a way that seem to be just more than just a coincidence. So, for example, you might be thinking about an old friend that you haven't seen in years, and then suddenly you bump into them, or randomly they phone you or message you. Or you might be thinking about a new job opportunity, and then you receive a random email from a recruiter offering you that very job. These are not coincidences. This is a synchronicity. This is actually the universe conspiring and helping you and delivering what it is that you're asking for. We have very powerful minds that we're not actually aware of, the power that we have within us. That's what this podcast is all about, sharing this with you so that we have awareness and that we know the power that we do have within. So yeah, no coincidences, synchronicities. It's all the universe. We're all interconnected. So things that you think about, you then manifest them because we are the creators of our world. So these synchronicities, this is something that you've thought about and it shows up. So synchronicities and the idea behind it is that our thoughts and beliefs have the power to influence our reality. So if you remember, I talk about everything being energy. When we focus on something, we're giving it energy, and therefore we attract more of it into our lives. So if we think positively and we focus on what we want, we'll attract positive experiences and people into our lives, which is so important because our minds are sort of hardwired to focus on what we don't want, and we don't want to be manifesting what we don't want. So listen to the previous episode about awareness. It's really important to have awareness because then when you're aware of what you're thinking and feeling, and then you're going to start being a bit more careful and thinking, we always have the opportunity to change what we're thinking. So you can switch it up and then allow more synchronicities in alignment with what you actually want instead of focusing on what you don't want just by habit and hardwired, and then more of those showing up. So awareness is key. So conversely, if we think negatively and focus on what we don't want, that's just reinforcing what I'm saying, that we attract negative experiences and people into our lives. This is known as the law of the law. This is known as the law of attraction. And this is based on the idea that we're all energetic beings and that our thoughts and emotions emit a certain frequency of energy. And this energy attracts like energy, which means we attract into our lives people, events, and experiences that are vibrating at the same frequency as we are. So sometimes you might find that as you start growing and evolving and raising your consciousness, that certain friendships and people fall away from your life. This is because you're vibrating on different frequencies now, and that's not to say that you're any better than anybody else. That's just, it's energy. Sometimes it's difficult to hang out with certain people, and that's because it's everyone's energy. So if you ever come away from spending time with a friend and you feel lit up and you feel great, that's that because their energy is high, they're high vibing. And think about if you've come away from a situation where you spent time with somebody and you feel low, that's often because they're taking your energy. So everything is energy, and we are always manifesting through the law of attraction. So these synchronicities are evidence of that. It's proof. And they're often seen as a sign that we're on the right path. If you're getting a lot of synchronicities and you're becoming aware of synchronicities happening a lot in your life for the positive, then often it's a sign that you go in the right way, keep going and keep moving forward. So how can we increase the number of synchronicities in our lives? Well, one way is becoming more aware of our thoughts and beliefs. Check out the previous episode, all about awareness. You start paying attention to your inner dialogue and notice when you're having negative or limiting beliefs. So it's having that awareness is so important. If we don't have awareness, then we're manifesting things into our lives that we just don't even realize. So that is, the awareness is key. Once we become aware of these thoughts, we can work to replace them with more positive and empowering beliefs. This will help us attract more positive experiences and people into our lives. Another way to increase synchronicities in our lives is to be open and receptive to new experiences and opportunities. This means stepping out of our comfort zones and taking risks. When we do this, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and opportunities that we might not have otherwise encountered. So this comes down to as well intuition, that sometimes things pop into your head and it's a bit like a message, like, oh, well, that came from nowhere, it's random, but it's the universe giving you a message like, this would be a good idea. And often we don't act on it because we're not quite sure where it came from and it seems a bit random. But when you listen to those intuitive nudges, oh, like an example I had was one day I just woke up and was like, go to this beach. Like, okay, cool. I'm up for that. Beautiful day. Took my little one to the beach. And whilst I was there, I bumped into a really interesting person and we got talking and he was sharing a lot of, well, it was synchronicities, the conversations we were having about things that I believe in that I hadn't had conversations with people about it. And here was this man, and we were like, oh, and it was just so the synchronicity. I was meant to meet him, and that's the synchronicity. I listened to the nudge. My intuition said, go to this place today. I didn't question it. I didn't doubt it. I just thought, yeah, cool. I didn't even know why I was going. It was just like, oh, great, nice day off to the beach. Yeah. And then ended up meeting somebody who shared knowledge of something that I'm incredibly interested in and taught me more and was able to direct me where I could find more information about it. So this is when it's just, oh, it's amazing. I call it being in flow. And it is, because your energy, when you're really aware of what's going on in your head and you're tuning into your intuition, synchronicities show up all over the place. And it gets really exciting because at first it's like, whoa, that's mad. What a coincidence. And then I remind myself, no, it's not a coincidence. There are no coincidences, only synchronicities. And then the more it happens, so just honestly, peeps, just keep an eye out, have awareness, because it really, life gets so exciting when you realize synchronicity after synchronicity, when you bump into people, you see people, things show up, even television programs, magazines, stuff that you're thinking about doing, thinking of starting a new business, and suddenly you end up sitting next to someone on a train or a bus and they do what you want to do, and suddenly you've got a contact who can help you out. Like, these opportunities are everywhere, but you have to be open to them and have an awareness of them, an awareness of yourself and the role that you're playing in it. But yeah, seriously, it gets exciting. But often, and you might think, well, why haven't I seen these before? Like, Ellie, what are you on about? Because we're not open to it. You have to be open to it. The minute you start opening up your mind and your consciousness and having awareness, you open up and you channeling positive energy and you're getting yourself on higher frequencies. Life just changes, and it is like magic. It's so cool. So finally, we can also increase its synchronicities in our lives by expressing gratitude and appreciation for the things that we already have. How often do we just reach for something, we want it, got a goal, we attain it, and then we move on to the next one? Gratitude is huge in manifesting what you want in your life and for more synchronicities showing up. When you're grateful for what you have and what you've already got, like, more stuff, more synchronicities will show up in your life. And like I said, it's like magic. It really is. It's fun because then you can just play with it. Like, okay, well, cool, this worked. Like, yeah, have fun with it. Because when you've got gratitude and you focus on the positive, you attract more positive experiences and more like positive people into your lives, because you're vibing higher, your consciousness is higher and your vibration is higher, your frequency, you're on a different frequency. It's like turning the dial on the radio to a better station. So there you have it. Synchronicities are meaningful coincidences that seem to defy explanation. They occur when two or more events happen in a way that seem to be more than just a coincidence, because there are no coincidences. By becoming more aware of our thoughts and beliefs and being open to new experiences and opportunities, and remembering to express gratitude, we can increase the number of synchronicities in our lives and attract more positive experiences and people into our lives. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave a review. I'll see you next time.